Okay, hope another day off from work, so we're getting ourselves into some trouble here. I got some different variety of things to open. If you would please, open each of those and just kind of make a stack. These are the $1 packs from Surf City Cards. We've got 10 of them left for 1981 Fleer. So we're just going to go ahead and, maybe create a longer video of just all 10 of these. Called $10 of 1981 Fleer or something like that.
And who do we got on the wall?
Lest we forget.
Have to talk about him.
Yeah. That's Nolan Ryan. So we went from Mattingly 87, Nolan Ryan 1988, and we're probably going to have to continue to add legends for future years of the junk wax eras, like a Cal Ripken and a Ricky Henderson. But yeah, it's almost like brutal that we waited this long to put a Nolan Ryan up there. 1988 tops. You see kind of the direction we've been heading with our cards. We started way back in the 50s, and we're up to 1988 tops. We got a few holes to fill there for sure. But yeah, that's Nolan. Didn't really have a great record in 87, but cut better with age, that's for sure. We're going to try this, some Donruss. We're going to try some Series 2 tops. Also have some Upper Deck Golf. Don't know that we're going to get through the entire hobby box in this video, but maybe we can do 6 of the packs as you kind of open the $1 packs. This will just kind of help us wrap up our 1981 Fleer that we purchased, or I purchased. Once again, these are from the local card shop, $1 per pack, basically repacked commons from that set, 1981 Fleer. This is the initial set that they did. 1981 is the year that kind of jump-started the junk wax or mass production era, however you want to use a term to describe the overabundance of hot garbage that was created.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So now, if you want to make smaller stacks, you can. But you know what we're going here. Anything cool you put to the left or the right. Otherwise, we stick them right in the middle.
And we got a manager.
Yeah. There's a legend there. Tony La Russa with the White Sox. He would later gain even greater fame as the A's manager. Don Money. Bob Shirley. Looks like he's got some tobacco in his mouth. If there's one side of a checklist, there's another side.
And there's the other side.
Oh boy. Rick Sofield, Reggie Cleveland, Jim Gampner, Charlie Moore. So we got some Brewers. Bob McClure, Steve Rainbow Trout, Kevin Bell. Look at the White Sox, looking snazzy. Todd Cruz. I see a theme here. Bob Molinara, Ed Farmer.
A lot of White Sox.
These are the North Siders, right?
Yeah.
No, these are the Southsiders.
Southsiders.
Yeah. The Mets, Jerry Morales, Dan Norman, Wally Backman, Pat Zachary, Tom Houseman, Bill Allman, Joel Youngblood, Doug Flynn, Claudel Washington, Ray Burris. And we are just tearing through some Mets. Pete Falcone, and in case you didn't know, it's that yellow and that gray with the white on the back. And when we get to be too much, you can just flip them to the side. Jeff Reardon, Darryl Thomas of the Dodgers, Hal McRae, double threat for the Royals, who would also be a manager. Mike Griffin of the Yankees, sure. There's Don Zimmer. Gained some fame as a Yankees bench coach in the Joe Torre era. Terry Forster looking chill. Luis Gomez, Brian Asseltane, Brian Doyle, Dennis Worth. The Doyle brothers were from a town I used to live in, or at least the same county I used to live in back in Kentucky. Aurelio Rodriguez, Bill Naharodny. I do know how to say the next one, though. This is a fun name. Biff Pocaroba, Joe Lefevre, Doug Bird, Dennis Martinez, Sparky Lyle with the Phillies, Nino Espinoza, Ramon Avias, Del Unser, Amos Otis, Dave Chalk, Larry Gura, Clint Hurdle, Rance Mullenix, fantastic name, Roger Erickson, Jeff Zahn, Chris Spire Expos, Stan Bonson Expos, Doyle Alexander the Braves, Mike Lum, and we're kind of filling up here. Slide them over. Tommy Hutton, broadcaster for ESPN in the early days of them broadcasting games with Chris Berman, those Hotel California games. Omar Moreno, Doug Bear, nice Pirates uniforms. Elias Sosa, Willie Wilson, speedster. Ray Knight, and the Mets win it. Ken Maka, Joey McLaughlin, Bob Davis, Bill North. Checklist for the Dodgers and
The Expos.
There you go. Thank you. Mike Norris. What else you got? Paul Householder, Dick Drago, Tim Foley, Tom Verzer, Joe Simpson, John Butcher, maybe a pitching coach, Tony Scott, Leon Durham, the Bull, Tommy Herr, Angels, and we got the Cubs. Game Saver, Tug McGraw. Buddy Bell, Ron Guidry. Oh,
He's on the wall.
He's on the wall. Where is he? Oh, right there. There's Ron Guidry. Back in the 70s. Joe Charbonneau, Larry Cox, Victor Cruz, Tom Paciorek, White Sox broadcaster with Hawk Harrelson. Man, they were annoying. Steve Henderson, Pete Redfern, Rich Murray, Milt Wilcox, Jim Lenton, Dave LaRoche, Tom Underwood. And you kind of see we got a stack. All right, this is $10 worth of 1981 Fleer we got going on here. Jim Slayton, Bruce Sutter, a closer who's ready to bat. Bake McBride's hair. Mike Easler. Wow, I like the other Pirate uniforms better. Lynn McLaughlin. Mike Krukow in the catcher's the catcher's crouch, but he was the pitcher. Frank LaCourte. Jeffrey Leonard. Lee Lacey. And our favorite Pirate hats. Rick Matula. Tom Donahue. John Curtis. Eric Rasmussen. Larry Sorensen. Gorman Thomas. Brew Crew would be in the 82 World Series with they would face the Cardinals and lose. There's Jim Cott when he was with the Cardinals. Dick Hauser, the manager of the Yankees, also the Royals. Rick Waits, Glenn Adams, Pete Mackinnon, Ross Grimsley, Mario Mendoza. We got a Mario Mendoza right up here. That's the 81 tops. And here he is in 81 Fleer. Hoskin Powell. Larry Herndon looks all by himself on the bench. Dave Rosema. Richie Hebner. Gene Tennis. Played for the A's. Jim Spencer. Larry Christensen. Steve Nicosia. Lenny Randall. Mike Vale. Joe Niekro with the Astros stripes. Joe Sambito. Bill Robinson. Al Herbowski. Rick Miller, Bill Fahey, Steve Mura, Willie Montañez, and we'll kind of move guys down a little bit here as we roll on with 81 Fleer. George Foster looking happy. Willie Randolph, Yankee legend. Twins and nobody cares. A's, but we're going to show you anyway. Don Stanhouse, Lonnie Smith, Skates, Hector Cruz, Mario Soto, Steve Rogers chillin', Ken Griffey, the dad. And flip them over. Let's see what I haven't shown you in a while. In case you missed it earlier in another video. That's the back of the 81 Fleer.
Keeping him right there.
And his son wasn't bad. Hall of Famer. All right, what you got? Lloyd Mosby after Ernie Witt. So it was the Blue Jays portion of the program. Jerry Garvin, Otto Valise, Mike Cubbage, Tony Armas, Ron Oster, a Reds teammate there, Steve Renko, Bill Campbell, Rod Scurry, Miguel Delone, Mickey Rivers, Doc Medich, Dave Roberts, not the Dave, a different Dave Roberts, Ken Oberkfell, Terry Kennedy, Roy Smalley, Mets, and we got back-to-back checklists. Are you kidding me? White Sox.
I don't care about the White Sox
Mariners
now.
and
White Sox are terrible.
They are terrible now. And the Rangers.
And so are the Rangers.
Oh my gosh, there's still more. What a bargain. There's Joe Torre when he was at the Mets. Clueless Joe would win the World Series with the Yankees. And he figured it out. He had the players to help him do it. Gary Thomason, Gary Maddox, John Vukovic, Dave Goltz, Gary Alexander, Bob Baylor, Larry Bittner. How many I's does he need in his last name? Apparently 2. So we got Neil Allen. I think he ended up playing for the Yankees. Milt May, Joe Patini, Champ Summers. Great name. Bruce Robbins.
Knocking everybody over.
That's okay. Jim Barr, Oscar Gamble. I mean, the hair not looking as wild in 81 there for Oscar. Kent Tekulve, 85 Kent Tekulve right there because of those glasses. I think he might have the same.
And there's Oscar Gamble.
This might be the same. This might be the same pair that he has there.
And there's Oscar Gamble.
Oh, there's Oscar. Yeah, there's Oscar's hair when it was Wild Hair Don't Care, 1975 tops. Greg Luzinski, Cliff Johnson, Sammy Stewart. I mean, he needs a haircut. Luis Pujols, no relation. John Candelaria, Preston Hanna, Chris Chambliss, and he did some things for the Yankees and it mattered most. In the 70s, Dave Cash, Broderick Perkins, Ben Ogilvy, J.R. Richard. Oh, I like those uniforms. Earl Weaver, legend as a manager. Then we got Willie Aikens, and I'm not fast enough. Rich Gale, another guy that was a pitching coach possibly. A lot of these guys went on to coaching. Dave Bergman, Al Bumbry, Mike Paxton, Leon Roberts. Got a big old, that's not bubble gum in there. That is chewing tobacco. John Stearns, John Castino, Randy Moffat, Tom Griffin. Really? There's more? It doesn't end. Pat Underwood, Stan Pappy, Don Ossie, Rupert Jones, Don Robinson, Scott Thompson, Bill Caudell, Benny Ayala, Jose, Won't You Take Me on a Sea Cruise, Dave Smith, Grant Jackson, Larry McWilliams, Floyd Bannister, Luis Salazar, Mike Caldwell, Mickey Hatcher. He'd be the hitting coach for the Angels, and then they fired him on basically the day that the Angels called up Mike Trout, and the rest is kind of history. Jack Clark, Blue Jays, and
the Giants.
I'll move these out of the way. We'll leave Joe and Ken up there just because why not? Frank White, Greg Gross, George Vukovic, John D'Acquisto. I can't even. Yeah, whatever.
It's an Expo.
D'Acquisto. An Expo. That's really all that matters there. Joe Nolan, Greg Pryor, Bill Gullickson, Len Sakata, Scott Sanderson. He was helpful on those A's teams that were pennant winners. Jesse Jefferson, Steve Braun. The field's empty. Jim Wolford in batting practice. Nobody's there. Astros.
Nolan Ryan
They
on
used
that side.
to do batting practice, and you could watch batting practice. Not anymore. They're in the Yankees. Yeah. They lost the World Series to the Dodgers that year. Rick Langford, Bill Bonham, Gary Hancock, Jerry Royster, Barry Foote, Toby Harrah, Glenn Abbott, Ed Figueroa, Jim Norris, Ken Reitz, Terry Landrum, Mike Ramsey, checklist for the Red Sox, and the Braves. We're getting close to the end. Bill Spaceman Lee, Jerry Remy, and a broadcasting legendary for the Red Sox. Speaking of a legend, Freddie Lynn, Darryl Porter, Rennie Martin, Woody Fryman.
Not playing.
That is, the bullpens aren't like that anymore.
No.
Charlie Leibrandt, Ron Reed, Larry Parrish, Terry Crowley, Junior Kennedy, Barry Bonnell, Garth Yorg, Mike Ivey, Dave Edwards, Jeff Newman, Sheldon Burnside, Bob Stanley, Rick Camp, Enrique Roma. Whoa. Whoa.
hair?
Don't mess with him. He doesn't have his hat on. Jack Brohammer, Jim Sundberg, Pat Putnam, Billy Travers, Keith Smith, Dane Orge, and Ken Landro. Wow.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We gotta take a break after that one. That's what $10 will get you.